Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. This is Eisenherz, and this weekend was probably the worst thing that happened to the cEDH community in a long time. Two major incidents occurred that contribute heavily to the self-dismantling of the cEDH tournament scene and the cEDH community as a whole, continuing to make us the laughingstock of the broader competitive MTG scene. The first thing that occurred is pretty straightforward to explain. Temujin, who is a known cheater, was allowed to participate in the Commander Invitational and managed to win the whole thing, beating Freedom Waffle, the highest rated cEDH player in the world, in the finals to take home a freaking Black Lotus. Yes, you heard that right. Someone who was caught on video cheating repeatedly was allowed to participate in a huge tournament and took home one of the most desirable prizes you can win against the best cEDH player in the world. Quick reminder here, just in September of 2024, so not even a year ago, Temujin was caught on camera repeatedly drawing 3 cards off his Mystic Remora triggers. This person was then still allowed by multiple tournament organizers to participate in their tournaments. This is an absolute disgrace and disrespect to all the people that put so much work and energy into furthering this format: players, content creators, coaches, brewers, etc. etc. It also completely undermines the integrity of the scene, the format and the tournaments. How do you expect anyone to participate in a cEDH tournament or even respect anything cEDH stands for when someone who was caught on camera cheating repeatedly can participate in such a big event, or any event for that matter? I talked to Freedom Waffles about his feelings playing against Temujin, and he also agreed that Temujin should have never been allowed to participate in any tournament, and especially in the Invitational, just a month after being caught cheating so blatantly. And you know my stance on cheaters. In my opinion, by cheating they have forfeited the privilege to participate in the community for good. If we do not handle cheating with the highest possible consequences, then cheating will be incentivized. This is the perfect example. People who were already on the edge of illegally gaining an advantage over their opponents will now be much more likely to put their thoughts into action. Because hey, what's the worst thing that can happen? Apparently you can do that and still go to a major tournament to win the most powerful MTG card ever printed. What an incredible disgrace and what a failure from the tournament organizers. Do we want this to become the norm? I don't think so. So we need a unified guide on how to deal with cheaters, and we need a list of known cheaters that tournament organizers need to have access to, so a farce like this can be avoided in the future. The second thing that happened this weekend is a bit more layered. The SaltCon 10k cEDH tournament, which was a 3-day event, culminated in a 11-hour final pot. Yes, you also heard that right. The final game took 11 hours and in the end didn't even find a winner. The game ended in a draw, because one of the players had to catch their flight back home. What an absurd scenario to find yourself in. Imagine playing a tournament for 2 days, winning a ton of games just to spend 11 hours playing the finals and not even determining a winner in the end. The Reddit trolls already got to it and threw shade on one of the players who was a well-known figure in the scene, because they were apparently yapping too much, angle shooting, bullying, wasting time, slow playing, putting pressure onto opponents, etc. etc. You know, all the things you'd probably not want to do in a social game. But I have a little bit of a different stance on this subject. In my opinion, although I did not like what said player did throughout parts of the game, the main issue was not the player, but the tournament organizers and especially the judges. cEDH is not in its infancy anymore. Multiple large tournaments take place around the world every weekend, yet apparently we have still not been able to find ways to solve the logistics of tournament EDH. How can it be that there is no time limit on the final pot? There is no other competitive event without any kind of time limit. How can it be that judges do not issue game rule violations for slow play or even disqualifications for stalling? How can it be that this format is still allowing multiple beyond broken cards that keep interfering with the logistics of organizing a tournament? The TOs should have never allowed for the final pot to have no time limit. In fact, every round should have a very strict time limit. Something like 80 minutes for Swiss rounds, 120 minutes for the semis, and 180 minutes for the final pot. Anything else is simply not acceptable at this point, and hopefully other TOs will learn from this shitshow. Also, the judges need to really keep a look at themselves and their role during the tournament. How can it be that a single spell takes 40 minutes to resolve? How can it be that a stack takes 2 hours to resolve? This is just unacceptable. If a person keeps on talking and talking, then the opponents have to step in and call the judge, who will then have to stop the yapping. Throw shade on that player all you want. I am not doing it. I like him, I respect him, and he might have pushed the boundaries too far. He might have even been unsportsmanlike or outright bullying at certain points. But keep in mind that there were high prices on the line. It was a high-stress situation, and all players were fatigued from a 3-day tournament and an 11-hour game. That player did not show his best side and didn't play the game the way I or most of us would want to see it. But he acted within the framework that was presented to him. I reached out to him and asked for his point of view, but unfortunately he has not yet replied to me. If he does, I will follow up in the comment section. So if anything, the judges and the TOs should be made responsible for the shitshow that occurred. Without their mismanagement, it would not have come this far. Let's just hope this will prove to tournament organizers, judges and players that the way tournaments are organized, the way games are played, and the way this format is managed needs to drastically change. We need a strict time limit for all rounds, we need a better point system, we need tournament-specific bans, and we need to regulate yapping. Otherwise, this is just another big step in the self-dismantling of cEDH.